Have you ever had one of those moments where you just want to jump through your TV screen and cheer? Well, if you saw Jason Morgan and Anna Devane finally kick that door down and face off with Ross Cullum, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Honestly, I'm still a little shaky just thinking about it. Was this really just a lucky break for our heroes? Or is it something way deeper that we've been waiting months to see? You have to wonder, after everything they've been through, how are they even still standing? It's a rainy, miserable day for some. But in Port Charles, the storm that just hit is way bigger than any weather report. We are breaking down the craziest showdown of the year because Jason is back, Anna is totally unleashed, and Cullum is finally getting what he is coming to him. Think about the scene for a second. We've got Jen Sidwell and Ross Cullum just sitting there totally calm, having this tense little meeting. They're negotiating who gets to control the piers, which we all know is Sonny Corinthos' territory. These two absolute villains really thought they had the entire city of Port Charles wrapped around their little fingers. It's almost funny, isn't it? They're sitting there talking business and dividing up the criminal underworld like they're playing a game of Monopoly. They were completely oblivious to the hurricane that was about to hit them. Isn't it so satisfying to watch arrogant bad guys get way too comfortable right before their entire world falls apart? Cullum was really acting like he was the new king of the WSB. He made himself Jack Brennan's new boss and spent his time hunting down Rocco Falconeri. He was even cornering kids like Danny and Charlotte Cassadine in the Windmere tunnels. He thought he was untouchable. And Sidwell? He was just as bad, sitting there with all his power and money, still obsessed with finding out who killed his son, Marco Rios. Sidwell has been tearing the city apart looking for the killer. He's been listening to theories from Ava Jerome and watching Cassius try to blame poor Lucas Jones. And the whole time, the real killer was sitting right across the table from him, casually negotiating business. The audacity of Ross Cullum is actually insane when you think about it. Then it happens. The moment we have all been waiting for. The door just gets absolutely smashed open and kicked right off the hinges. And who is standing there? Jason and Anna Devane. I'm not even going to pretend I stayed cool. I literally screamed at my screen. It was total chaos and absolute insanity. We knew Steve Burton was coming back, but to have him make his grand re-entrance like this? It was perfection. Jason is fresh out of that horrible WSB black site prison in Jakarta. He's been rotting in there for weeks under terrible conditions, all because he took the fall for Rocco shooting Cullum. Jason sacrificed his own freedom to protect Dante and Lulu's kid. And now he is back, looking rough, looking mad, and looking like he is entirely done playing games with these corrupt WSB suits. He just storms into that room with this dark, lethal energy that only Jason can pull off. And right beside him is Anna. Let's talk about Anna Devane for a second, because she's incredible. She's not in a hospital gown or locked in some facility in France anymore. She is in full, classic Anna Devane tactical agent gear. The leather, the boots, the whole look. She looks like the legendary super spy we all know and love. We heard she escaped her clinic and hijacked a car, and clearly, Anna had her own plans regardless of what the authorities wanted. Whatever happened, she made it back to Port Charles, and she is out for absolute blood. Jason doesn't even say a word at first. He just walks right up to the table and slams this massive file of evidence down right in front of Sidwell and Cullum. He throws it down and reveals the ultimate truth. The evidence proves without a shadow of a doubt that Ross Cullum is the one who murdered Marco Rios, not Lucas Jones. It was Cullum. I just need to pause and appreciate the look on Sidwell's face right then. It's that shock, that absolute mind-bending realization that he has been partnering with the man who slaughtered his own son. Sidwell has been grieving Marco and demanding retribution. Remember when Cassius, pretending to be Nathan West, tried to plant the idea that Lucas turned on Marco? Ava shut that down fast, and Carly even begged Lucas to move out of Windmere because it was too dangerous. Lucas has been carrying all this guilt, and the whole time, the real monster was Cullum. The vindication for Lucas is huge here, and I'm so glad his name is officially cleared. But the tension in that room? You could cut it with a knife. Then Anna steps up because exposing the murder wasn't enough. No, they had to completely destroy Cullum's entire operation. Anna looks right at him and exposes the fact that he turned Windmere into an illegal, off-the-books prison. She lays it all out: the catacombs, the cells, the two-way mirrors. She completely unmasks his sick little operation and tells Sidwell that Cullum has been running a rogue dungeon right under their noses on Spoon Island. This part hits really hard because we know who is trapped down there right now. Jocelyn Jax has been locked in that sub-base cell by Cassius, waiting for a chance to strike back with makeshift weapons. And how did Jocelyn get those weapons? Because Anna Devane hid them when she was held hostage in that exact same room back in October. The history here is so deep. Anna isn't just taking down a corrupt director. She's taking down the man who built the cage that traumatized her. She's getting justice for herself and saving Carly's daughter at the same time. Don't you think the emotional payoff here is just massive? The appearance of this duo leaves Sidwell completely stunned. He is just frozen, looking at the evidence, looking at Jason, and then looking at Cullum. You can see the exact second that Cullum realizes his days are numbered. The arrogance just drains out of his face, and the sweat starts forming. He knows it's over. Every single one of his crimes, the blackmail, the murders, the illegal detentions, it's all being laid bare. And then the chaos really erupts because Cullum isn't just going to surrender peacefully. He's a cornered rat. But before he can even make a move, Jason is on him. Jason physically subdues Cullum right there, grabbing him and pinning him, completely restraining him by force. The craziest part? Jason does it right in front of Sidwell's gun. Sidwell has his weapon drawn, and he is pointing it, but you have to wonder who he is going to shoot. Is he going to shoot Jason for interrupting, or is he going to shoot Cullum for murdering Marco? The standoff is so intense I actually forgot to breathe for a second. Think about the ripple effects this is going to have. Cullum is finished, but what does this mean for everyone else? Danny and Charlotte were just cornered by Cullum in those tunnels. Does this mean they are safe now? Danny actually broke into that castle to find dirt to free Jason, and now Jason is the one who broke himself out to save Danny. That father-son dynamic is going to be so emotional when they finally reunite. And what about Rocco Falconeri and Britt Westbourne? They are currently fugitives on the run. Rocco went with Britt because he's the one who actually shot Cullum on the pier to protect Jason and Britt. Dante and Lulu have been tearing their hair out, launching a desperate manhunt for their kid. Lulu has been drowning in guilt because she's the one who got the fake passports. But if Cullum is exposed, does that mean Rocco and Britt can come home? The legal mess is still huge, but at least the immediate threat of Cullum hunting them down is gone. Let's be real, though. What is Sidwell going to do now? Sonny Corinthos just had a whole strategy session with Laura Collins about taking Sidwell down. And now Sidwell is standing in a room with Jason, realizing his entire empire is crumbling. Sidwell is a dangerous, vengeful man. If he doesn't shoot Cullum himself, he might just declare war on everyone. The power vacuum this is going to create on the docks is going to be insane. And we can't forget about the absolute circus happening over at Willow's house. Jack Brennan is lying paralyzed on the floor because Nina accidentally stabbed him with Drew's medicine. Valentine is fighting with Carly about hiding Brennan in her attic. Willow is having a full-blown panic attack because she needs Brennan to keep Drew in line, and Drew is in the back room trying to escape. It is a complete madhouse. But with Cullum taken down, Brennan's WSB boss is out of the picture. Does this mean Brennan is going to wake up and take his job back? Or is Valentine going to use this chaos to eliminate him entirely? Honestly, I am just so overwhelmed by how many storylines are colliding right now. The writers have been weaving this massive web for months. The murder, the WSB corruption, Jason's false confession, Anna's trauma, Jocelyn's kidnapping, and the teen rebellion. It all traces back to Cullum and Sidwell. Seeing Jason and Anna team up to deliver justice is exactly the kind of classic soap opera moment we watch the show for. It feels like old-school General Hospital, and it feels earned. Sometimes this show drags things out for way too long, and the pacing gets clunky, but episodes like this make it all worth it. This is why we stick around. I don't even know how they're going to top this tomorrow. Is Jason going to hand Cullum over to the PCPD, or is Sidwell going to execute him right there on the docks? And where is the new detective, Joe Fitzpatrick, in all this? We all suspect he might be working for Sidwell, and if he shows up at the piers, things could get even messier. It's total chaos. Jason is back. Anna is a total badass. Cullum is ruined, and Sidwell is shocked. I am exhausted just trying to process it all. I think I need to rewatch that door kick about 50 more times. But what do you think? Do you think Sidwell pulls the trigger? Are Jason and Danny going to have a tearful reunion? And seriously, who is going to be the one to finally rescue Jocelyn from that subbase? Have you ever just sat there and stared at your TV screen, wondering if your favorite show is finally about to go there? I mean, really go there? Because honestly, the tension we are seeing right now in Port Charles is the kind of stuff that keeps you up at night. It's that edge of your seat, heart-pounding drama that makes General Hospital the legend that it is. And the big question on everyone's lips today is one that feels like a heavy weight. Do you really think Jen Sidwell is about to pull the trigger on Ross Cullum? I mean, look at the situation. You have a grieving father who just found out he's been shaking hands with his son's murderer. You have a corrupt WSB director who thinks he's a god. And then you have Jason Morgan, the ultimate wild card, literally pinning the guy to the floor. It's a powder keg, isn't it? One tiny spark, one twitch of a finger, and everything we know about Port Charles changes forever. So let's really get into it. Let's talk about why this moment is so much bigger than just one gunshot. Well, think about it for a second. We have to set the scene because I am still a little bit shaky from watching all of this play out. It was a rainy, miserable Tuesday, and honestly, the weather was just perfect for the absolute storm that was about to hit. We had Sidwell and Cullum sitting there in this tense little meeting. They were talking about negotiating control of the piers, which we all know is Sonny Corinthos' territory. The funny thing is, these two villains really thought they were in total control. They were sitting there talking business and dividing up the city like they were playing a high-stakes game of Monopoly. They were completely oblivious to the fact that a hurricane was standing right outside the door. Doesn't it just drive you crazy when the bad guys get that arrogant? They truly believed they had neutralized everyone who could stop them. They thought Jason was rotting in a black site prison in Jakarta. They thought Anna was drugged out of her mind in a French clinic. They were so busy congratulating themselves that they didn't hear the footsteps coming. And then, the moment happened. The door didn't just open. It got absolutely smashed off its hinges. And who was standing there? Jason Morgan and Anna Devane. I'm not even going to pretend I stayed cool. I literally screamed at my screen. It was total chaos and absolute perfection all at once. Jason is back, and he looks rough. He looks like a man who has been through hell, and he has. He's been in that WSB prison for weeks, living in who knows what kind of conditions. And why was he there? Because he took the fall for Rocco shooting Cullum. He sacrificed his own life to protect Dante and Lulu's kid. That is just so Jason, isn't it? He's the shield. He's the guy who takes the hit so others don't have to. But seeing him stand there next to Anna, that changed everything. Anna wasn't in a hospital gown. She was in her full, classic tactical gear. The leather, the boots, the don't mess with me attitude. She looked like the legendary super spy we fell in love with years ago. She's out for blood, and you can see it in her eyes. Jason didn't even say a word at first. He just walked up to that table and slammed a massive file of evidence down. Boom. Right in front of Sidwell and Cullum. And that file? It was the ultimate truth. It proved without any doubt that Ross Cullum is the one who murdered Marco Rios. It wasn't Lucas Jones. It was the man sitting right across from Sidwell. Can you even imagine the shock Sidwell is feeling right now? He has been grieving Marco for months. He has been demanding retribution and tearing the city apart. He even listened to people try to blame poor Lucas. And the whole time, the person who slaughtered his son was his business partner. The look on Sidwell's face was just mind-bending. It was like watching a man's entire reality shatter into a million pieces. How do you even process that kind of betrayal? You've been making deals and sharing drinks with the man who took your child's life. It's sick, isn't it? And then Anna steps up. She isn't just there for the murder reveal. She's there to burn Cullum's entire world to the ground. She looks him right in the eye and exposes the fact that he turned Windermere into an illegal, off-the-books dungeon. She describes the catacombs, the cells, and the two-way mirrors. She tells Sidwell that Cullum has been running a rogue operation right under his nose. This part really hits home because we know who is trapped down there right now. Jocelyn Jacks is sitting in a cell, waiting for her chance to fight back. And the tools she found? The lockpick and the blade? Anna hid those there months ago when she was the prisoner. It's such a powerful moment of connection. Anna is saving the next generation by leaving behind the tools of survival. She's getting justice for her own trauma while trying to make sure Jocelyn doesn't have to endure the same thing. Don't you think that's just brilliant writing? It ties the past and the present together in such a heartbreaking way. So now we are at the standoff. Sidwell has his gun drawn. He's pointing it right at the center of the room. But the big question is, who is he going to shoot? Is he going to shoot Jason for interrupting his meeting? Or is he going to turn that weapon on the man who murdered his son? The tension is so thick you could cut it with a knife. I actually forgot to breathe for a second while watching. Jason is physically subduing Cullum, pinning him to the floor. He's got him restrained by force. But Sidwell is a wild card. He is a dangerous, vengeful man, and he's currently staring at the personification of his grief. Do you think a man like Sidwell can really just wait for the police to show up? I mean, in his world, you don't call the cops. You handle things yourself, especially when it involves your own flesh and blood. If he pulls that trigger, he's not just killing a corrupt director. He's taking back his power, but he's also throwing his life away. Is revenge worth a life sentence? Or does he even care at this point? Let's look at the psychology here for a minute. Ross Cullum is a textbook narcissist. He really believed he was untouchable. He thought people were just assets with an expiry date. He even threatened to send a teenager like Rocco to a high-security prison just to get Britt in line. He thought he could manipulate everyone, including a grieving mob boss like Sidwell. But he fundamentally misunderstood the nature of grief. Grief isn't something you can control or negotiate with. When Sidwell looks at that file, he's not seeing a business deal anymore. He's seeing his dead son. He's seeing every lie Cullum ever told him. Cullum is a cornered rat now, and he knows it. The arrogance has just drained right out of his face. He's sweating, he's shaking, and for the first time in his life, he has zero leverage. It's a complete ego collapse. And honestly, it's exactly what he deserves after what he did to Anna and everyone else. But what about Jason? Why is he the one holding Cullum down? Jason Morgan has spent his entire life in the line of fire. He knows exactly what a man like Sidwell is capable of. He's standing right in front of a loaded gun, and he doesn't even blink. Why? Because that's his job. He's the one who stands between the chaos and the people he needs to protect. He wants Cullum to face justice, but he also knows that if Sidwell pulls that trigger, the docks are going to turn into a war zone. If Sidwell shoots, Jason is right in the crossfire. Do you think Jason is worried about himself? Or is he just focused on finishing the mission? He's fresh out of a prison where they probably tried to break him every single day. He's tired, he's rough, and he's done with the games. He wants the truth out, and he's willing to stand in front of a bullet to make sure it happens. It's that old school Jason energy that we have missed so much. Drop your thoughts in the comments, because I want to hear your theories. I'll be back tomorrow to break down the fallout, assuming my heart rate goes back to normal by then. Stay safe out there, Port Charles fans. And hey, if you love this breakdown, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss an update on all the drama hitting General Hospital. See you in the next one.